This is ChestertonRadio.com.
Talking Tales. You are about to hear the first episode of The Last of the Mohicans. In the further adventures of that famous woodsman, pioneer, and scout, Natty Bumppo, whom you have previously met as the central figure of that thrilling story, The Deer Slayer. We now meet him under the name of Hawkeye. The production is written and directed by Charles Frederick Lindsley.
The scene of our drama is laid in the dark recesses of that section which lay between the headwaters of the Hudson and the adjacent lakes. The period is the time of the colonial wars of North America, when the yells of savages mingle with every fitful gust of wind from the interminable forest. The present episode opens just after sunrise one summer morning before the stout defense of Fort Edward. The quiet air is broken by a bugle call and is answered by scurrying feet and the confusion of voices. Officers shout guarded commands. 1,500 men fall into line, and to the muffled drum beat begin their trek into the woods on their way to succor Fort William Henry, which is weakly garrisoned and has sent for help against an impending attack by the French General Montcalm. General Webb is standing at the door of his quarters, talking with a young officer, Major Heyward, and a young woman, Cora Munro. Cora is the daughter of the general commanding Fort William Henry. She has been visiting at Fort Edward and is now trying to join her father before Montcalm begins his attack. Major Heyward, a close friend of the family, has been sent to act as her personal guide and protector. General Webb is speaking.
Thank God they're on their way at last.
It's generous of you, General Webb. 1,500 reinforcements will bring fresh courage to Fort William Henry.
We're in a tight fix, Major Heyward. Montcalm is ready to strike at any moment. And my scouts report he outnumbers us 2 to 1.
More than that, sir. He has every renegade Iroquois he can muster.
I know. Unless these stout logs can hold them off, this forest may see another massacre. When do you leave?
At once. Miss Munro here wants to get to William Henry, where she will be with her father if trouble develops.
Miss Munro, your visit here has been very pleasant. I'm sorry that this unexpected advance of the French should cause you inconvenience.
Oh, I'm not alarmed, General Webb. Only I do regret to cut short your very pleasant hospitality. Then I know Father will want me with him.
Naturally. Are you following the main column, Heyward?
No, sir. That runner you see yonder by the big oak is taking us by a shortcut. We should arrive several hours before the detachment.
Oh, Duncan, surely not that hideous creature. How can you trust such a savage at a time like this?
I know him, my dear, or you may be sure I would not trust you to his keeping.
What tribe, Heyward?
He's said to be a Canadian, General, but has served with our friends, the Mohawks.
How did he come among us?
I don't know exactly, but it was by some strange incident in which your father was interested, and in which the savage was harshly dealt with.
If he has been my father's enemy, I like him still less. Why must we take a secret trail anyway? Why not journey with the truth?
Because the enemy spies know we are sending this detachment to your father's help, and they know the route they'll take. There may be fighting on the way. Therefore, for your sake, the secret trail known to this guide will be safer.
Major Heyward is right, Miss Munro. There are many Indians faithful to our cause. And if Duncan knows this runner, you need have no fear.
Duncan, something tells me you're taking the wrong course. I don't like his looks. There's something evil about him.
I'll answer for his conduct. If necessary, these pistols will persuade him to keep his word.
Very well. Goodbye, General Webb. You've been very kind to me.
Goodbye, Miss Munro. Goodbye, Heyward. God go with you.
the guide say this journey would take us?
He promised to reach the fort by early afternoon.
And it's almost night now. Oh, could we be off the trail?
Not likely, though I confess I'm disappointed.
There's something I wanted to tell you the last hour. We've been hurrying so fast I haven't had a chance.
Yes?
Well, just as we came out of that dark gully back there, I happened to look over my shoulder. And I know I saw a painted Indian peering from the bushes.
Are you sure?
Right. He vanished just as our eyes met, but I know he was spying on us. And such an evil face. It froze my blood.
Oh, you're nervous, Cora. Your overwrought imagination probably conjured up this vision.
I'm sure we're being spied on, I tell you. Duncan, I feel a strange spell on us. I felt it ever since we left General Webb this morning. Speak to the guide, won't you? Ask him if he knows where we are.
I mustn't let him think we're distrustful, but I will inquire. Magua! Magua! Stop a moment. The lady is tired and wants to rest. How far are we from the lake, Magua?
Many miles.
Many miles? You said we would arrive by 2 o'clock. It's almost night now.
Trail slow.
Are you sure you're on the right trail?
Right trail.
Then why has it taken us so long? We're not prepared to spend the night in the woods. How much longer will it take? Oh, come, you speak better English than that. Tell me if anything is wrong.
Duncan, look. Look there to the trees on that log. They're Indians. He's led us into an ambush.
Where?
There to the right.
I see. Yes, they are Indians. Oh, but there's a white man with them. Come ahead with me. Magua, stay here.
Halt! Who comes? Friends to the law and the king. What's your arms?
Can you tell us the distance to a fort of the crown called William Henry? We've been traveling since sunrise without food. I fear we're lost.
Fort William Henry? Why, you're entirely off the scent, man. If you're a friend of the king and have business of the king, you'd better to follow the river down to Fort Edward and lay the matter before General Webb.
Why, it was Fort Edward we left this morning. This lady you see with me here is the daughter of General Munro, commander at Fort William Henry. She's on her way to join her father. We left Webb's camp this morning with a special guide, whom we trusted to take us to our objective by a secret path. But it begins to look as if we've been deceived. In plain words, we don't know where we are.
Who is your guide?
An Indian who came to the fort and volunteered to serve in such capacity.
Strange an Indian should be lost in the woods when the sun is scorching the treetops and the water courses are full, and the moth on every beach can tell him in which quarter the North Star will shine at night. Is he a Mohawk?
Not by faith, but adopted in that tribe. I think his birthplace is farther north. He's one of those you call a Huron.
A Huron? And you trust him? I wonder that you haven't fallen in with more of his blood-taken kind.
He's a Mohawk now, I tell you, and claims to serve with our forces as a friend.
And I tell you, a Mingo will die a Mingo.
Enough. I know about this guide. I'm not willing yet to believe he's treacherous. He's a stranger to you, and you shouldn't judge him. But you haven't answered my question. What is our distance from the main army of Edward?
That depends on who's your guide. One would think that such a horse as yours might get over a good deal of ground betwixt sunup and sundown.
I have no time for idle words with you, friend. If you tell me the distance to Fort Edward and conduct us there, you'll be rewarded.
And in so doing, how do I know that I don't guide an enemy and a spy of Montcalm to the works of the army?
I speak English.
Not everyone who can speak the English tongue is an honest subject.
Are you a scout for the king's forces?
You speak true.
Then you should know such a regiment of the king as the 60th.
The 60th? You can tell me little of the Royal Americans that I don't know, though I do wear a hunting shirt instead of a scarlet jacket.
Then you may know the name of its major.
Its major? If there's a man in the country who knows Major Effingham, he stands before you.
The gentleman you name is the senior officer over all. I speak of the junior officer, he who commands the companies in garrison at William Henry.
I've heard that a young man of vast riches from one of the southern provinces has the place. And he's said to be a soldier and a gallant gentleman.
Whether he be all of that or not, he is speaking to you now. I am no enemy. Accept my word for that.
I heard a party was to leave the encampment this morning for the lake shore.
You heard the truth. But I preferred a nearer route, and I trusted to the Indian I mentioned to lead us.
He deceived you, and deserted?
Neither. At least not the latter, for he's just up the trail away, waiting for us.
I should like to look at the greeter. If it's a true Iroquois, I can tell him by his knavish look and his paint. You wait here till I return. These Indians by me are Mohican friends. This is Chingachgook, and this is his son, Uncas.
You have heard this conversation, Mohicans. Do you think it likely I've been deceived?
Hawkeye, we'll say.
Who is this white friend you call Hawkeye?
Great scout, guide. Eye sartain. Finger lightning.
Do you know about this war between the French and the English?
Chingachgook, no.
And what is his side?
English friend.
And you?
Hawkeye friend. Huron enemy.
Huron enemy, eh? You will find enough business for your scouting knives pretty soon. Montcalm has the entire Iroquois tribe at his back.
Hawkeye, come.
It's just as I thought, Major. You've been tricked. I knew it as soon as I laid eyes on the apartment. The thief is leaning against a sugar sapling just beyond that first oak. I'm tempted to take him between the ankle and the knee and put an end to his tramping through the woods for a month or so.
No, it will not do. He may be innocent. Yet, if I was sure of his treachery...
Then I give you another plan, Major. You go back and hold the imp in talk. These Mohicans will steal up and take him without breaking his paint.
No. If you're right, I'll seize him myself.
What can you do mounted against an Indian in the bushes?
I will dismount.
When he saw one of your feet out of the stirrups, he wouldn't wait for the other to be free.
Then I will talk openly with the miscreant and pretend he's my truest friend.
Very good. Don't show any suspicions yet. The Delawares and I will watch from here.
Magua, do you know where we are? Here it is almost night. You've had us on the trail all day, and we seem as far away from William Henry as we were this morning. Tell me the truth. Are we lost?
Trail long.
But you said this morning that you could reach the fort by noon, or a little later.
Trail long. Pale-faced woman goes slow.
I want the truth, Magua. If you are not sure about the path, then I shall engage a white hunter we have met. He says he is acquainted with every nook of these woods.
Pale-faced hunter alone?
Alone? Why, no.
During Sutil will go. Pale-face will see none but his own color.
Lieutenant Subtil, sly fox. Whom do you call the sly fox?
Magua, Lurinad Sutil. Name given Magua by Canada fathers.
Magua, you told me you promised the chief of William Henry to guide his daughter through these woods. What will Reynard say to the hot-blooded Scotsman if you desert us now?
Lurinad will not hear him in wood.
But what will the Mohawks say if you prove a traitor? They will make you petticoats and make you stay in the wigwam with the women. Oh, but come now, Magua. Why should we quarrel? Let us rest here for a moment. Open your wallet and eat. When the lady is refreshed, we'll proceed.
Pale faces make themselves dogs to women.
What say you, Reynard?
Los Sutil say it good.
But we must not delay too long. Montcalm may even now be in our path. What's the matter, Reynard? Did you hear something?
Reynard hear nothing.
Then why did you start so? But go on with your meal. We must hurry.
Reynard no eat.
Is your corn dry? Maybe I can find something among my own provisions you would like. Let me dismount. Magua, stop!
Stay with the gal, Major. We'll take him. After the varmint, Uncas. After him.
You are about to hear another episode of The Last of the Mohicans, dramatized and directed by Charles Frederick Linston.
period of the French and Indian Wars in colonial North America. Montcalm is moving up the Champlain. General Munro, commander of Fort William Henry, has sent an urgent request to General Webb, commander of the armies of the King at Fort Edward, for reinforcements, and the latter has dispatched 1,500 troops to his aid. General Munro has also sent one of his officers, Major Heyward, to act as escort for his daughter, Cora, who has been visiting at Fort Edward. Heyward decides that it would be safer not to follow the detachment, owing to the danger of an imminent attack, and engages an Indian guide to take them by a secret trail through the forest. This guide, however, proves to be a treacherous Iroquois and loses them in the woods. It is late in the afternoon, and Major Heyward has become alarmed. He encounters a white hunter named Hawkeye, who is accompanied by 2 Mohican Indians. Heyward tells them of their predicament, and Hawkeye, after looking at the guide, says he is an enemy Iroquois. At that moment, the guide breaks away. There is a flash of a rifle, and Hawkeye shouts, "After him, Uncas!"
Why are you coming back, Hawkeye? The scoundrel must be concealed somewhere in these trees.
We just had a cloud to chase the wind.
But we're not safe while he goes at large. Did you hit him, do you think?
It was a quick sight. But look at the sumac. Its leaves are red. That answers your question.
How?
Everybody knows the fruit of the sumac is yellow in July.
The blood of the sly fox. You did hit him. Let's follow. He may fall yet.
No. I only rubbed the bark. Just enough to make the creature leap a little faster.
But we are 5 able bodies to 1 wounded man.
The devil would only draw you to the tomahawks of his friends. We've got the Mingos on our trail now, Major. And if we don't hurry to throw them off, our scalps will be drying in front of Montcalm's marquee again this hour tomorrow.
I am hot-blooded. I forgot my charge. Come, let me present you. Cora.
Oh, here I am, Duncan.
I have bad news for you. The guide we engaged to find us a shortcut through the woods was an Iroquois. I'm convinced he got us lost on purpose and now has deserted us.
No, I suspected him from the first. I told you so this morning before we started, but you only laughed at me.
This may explain the face you saw from the bushes.
What was that?
Just after noon, we passed through a particularly dense thicket, and Cora thought she saw a painted face staring from the undergrowth.
Major Heyward thinks it was my fancy.
It was no spirit you saw, gal, but a flesh and blood redskin. And my guess is that your late guide knew he was there.
Cora, let me introduce this hunter, whom luck has thrown across our path. His name is Hawkeye, and this is the daughter of General Munro, commander at Fort William Henry. She is trying to reach her father before the war begins. Cora, this man is our sole protector now. We're in your hands, Hawkeye. If you will see us safely to William Henry, you can name your own reward.
Save your offer of money. Neither of us is likely to live long enough to profit by it.
Duncan, are you sure about these Indians with this guide?
Why, of course. They are Mohican friends, Cora.
Have no fear, gal. These Mohicans will guard you with their lives.
Is it possible to reach the fort tonight?
I could show you the way to William Henry by a secret path I know, but...
Oh, then let us start at once.
It's impossible with the lady in the party.
Oh, I am tired, but I can ride a few more miles.
I say it's impossible now. I wouldn't attempt it for the best rifle in the colony.
We're not afraid. We'll follow.
That runner who just deserted you knows the path as well as I do. And his Mongol Mohawks might overtake us before we could get half a mile.
Then we're in your hands. What is your plan?
These Mohicans and I will do the best we can to give you safe keeping. But you must promise 2 things.
Name them.
First, you must be as still as these sleeping woods. That's what will happen. Second, you must keep the place we're taking you forever secret.
I promise both conditions.
Then dismount, both of you, and follow. Moments are precious.
What shall we do with our horses? Leave them here?
That would be to tell the Mingos we're close by. We'll have to get rid of them.
Don't kill them. We may need them again tomorrow.
Uncas, swim the animals down the river to the Black Hole. That'll throw the Redskins off the scent for the present. You and the gal come with me, Major. There's a canoe hid a little way down the stream. I'll soon have you where even Mingo eyes can't pry into our secret. Are you ready?
Lead the way, friend. We'll follow.
Well, here we are, fortified and garrisoned.
Where are we?
We're at the foot of Glens, in a cave that will defy Montcalm and all his varmints.
Are we quite safe?
This cave is in a mass of rocks 50 feet above the water. 50 feet, straight down almost.
But the siege would trap us in a hole, like rats.
You don't rightly know the plan of this little castle. Such old foxes as Chingachgook and me are not often caught in a burrow with one hole. There was a fall in the river about here at one time that cut out these big hollows you see in the rocks. There's more than one way down to the river if we're forced.
And this is a kind of island.
Exactly. It is an island, but a narrow fort that offers a narrow defense. Why, while an enemy was hunting around for the mouth of this tunnel, one good rifle could stay off a tribe of redskins.
Well, I hope we won't have to put its strength to the test.
Will we stay here all night?
Only till the moon goes down. We need dark before we travel again. If you'll make yourselves as comfortable as you can, I'll see if the Mohicans have finished their arms.
Duncan, do you think this guide is honest? Something tells me we're in awful danger.
We are in danger, Cora. But as to the guide, I have every reason to believe he's our friend.
But these horrible creatures with him.
He said they were Delawares or Mohicans. They're the same. And if so, they won't harm us. They're well-known friends of the English.
No, I hope you're right. But they appear to me like evil monsters.
Oh, wait until you can see them closer and talk with them. You'll change your mind.
I hope so. Well, I believe this cave has been occupied before.
It's probably a rendezvous well known to our friends. Let me pile up these sassafras boughs for a couch for you. When Hawkeye returns, we'll have some supper.
Oh, why did we ever leave the fort? Father knows we left Edward this morning, and he'll be worried to death.
Your father's a soldier and knows how to estimate the chances of the woods.
Listen, Duncan. There's someone at the mouth of the cave.
Stand back. Wait. It's probably Hawkeye.
Are you there, Major?
It is.
Well, everything's just as we arranged it, and Uncas is bringing some fresh venison. I'll make a fire, and we'll soon spread the feast.
Is it safe to light a fire?
When I get the blanket over the mouth of our retreat, we can have a dozen fine knots, and no one will be the wiser.
Personally, I'd rather forego the comfort of a fire.
Uncas, fix the deer. I'll rake up some pine knots.
What's that? Ugla, Onukla, Doshka.
Mokla, no.
What is it, Hawkeye?
We don't know. I've ranged the woods 30 years, and I've never heard its like.
Is it a war cry?
No. That had an unhuman sound. You'll never mistake a war whoop. Uncas, see if our light shines through the blanket.
No, I can't sleep in a place like this with such a cry ringing in my ears. Oh, there it is again. What can it be, Hawkeye?
I can't say, gal. But it's a warning we can't ignore.
It's some new method our enemies have found to terrify us.
I believe I know the sound now. It's so muffled here in the cave that I didn't recognize it at first.
What?
It's the shriek a horse gives when in great agony or terror. It must be a pack of wolves hovering about.
That's a bad sign. A wolf is an animal that's likely to hover around an Indian encampment, craving the offalls of the deer. Uncas, drop down in the canoe and whirl a brand among them. It's risky, but we can't let them sounds continue.
Well.
Miss Munro, this is a good time to get acquainted with Chingachgook here. We've been together since I was a boy. Why, he can tell you more things about these woods than any hunter alive.
Chingachgook?
Yes, that's Mohican for big serpent, so called for his cunning.
I've often wondered what passed in these woods before the white man came. Did the red men fight among themselves?
Tell her your story, Chief, while I spread the feast.
I'd like to hear it. Have your people always lived here?
Delaware come from beyond Big River, over great plains where buffalo live. We camp here. Whole country Delaware, Mohican country.
Was everything peaceful then?
Huron follow. Delaware drive him into wood.
Was that before the English came?
Long before. Then Delaware happy. Lake give fish. Wood give deer. Mohican worship Great Spirit.
Your fathers must have been wise men at the council fire.
Delaware's old. Great father of nations.
Are you a chief?
Blood of chief in Chingachgook vein.
How did these Indian wars with the white people begin?
Dutch come. Give my people firewater. Steal land. My people driven back.
It's a sad story. Where do your people live now?
All gone, land of great spirit. Chingachgook alone on top of hill. Soon go down in valley. Uncas follow. Then no more Mohican. Uncas, Chingachgook's son. Last of Mohican.
You may be the last of your tribe, Chingachgook. But there'll be plenty of work for you before you strike the last tree.
Uncas, come.
Was it a wolf pack, boy? Did you scare him?
Hawkeye, mean we come? Never.
The devil, you say? Sergeant, put out the fire. And stay here with the gal.
What's wrong?
The boy says we have callers.
You mean the Iroquois?
Crawl with me out on the ledge, Major. You too, Uncas. It appears we haven't given the varmints the slip after all.
They may be here by accident. They may not know our exact location. Can't we leave by one of the other entrances to your cave before it's too late?
Your horse has given us away. At least told them we're in the neighborhood. We'll have a look at them first. Where are the Uncas?
Chingachgook, Sokamuk.
I see, lad. There, beyond the black rocks, Major. The devils have swum over almost to our doors.
How many are there?
I see 4 heads behind that driftwood. But there may be a dozen.
But are you sure they are bent this way?
Certain. Look to the priming of your pistols, Major. Uncas, call your father. We need every rifle.
Cora mustn't be alone.
She'll be safe for the present. Crawl down in that fissure on your right. I'll be close by.
It's too dark to tell much. I can hardly see.
Your eyes aren't used to this kind of fighting.
Here's Chingachgook.
Sergeant. Take that rock on the left. Uncas, stay here in front of the cave.
Shall we fire first?
Wait till I give the word. Each of us must take a man. You take the one on the right, Major. Sergeant, the one on the left. Leave the others to me and Uncas. I see 'em, boy. I see 'em.
I can see them now. They're gathering for a rush, or they keep their backs below the logs.
Let 'em. That leading varmint comes to his death, though it be Montcalm himself. Ready? Make every bullet count. Fire! To cover for your lives. The woods is full of the devils. To cover and reload every piece. Full of the varmints. But we'll circumvent them.
How can we? 4 against 50.
Leave it to me and Chingachgook.
Where's Duncan? Oh, let me go to him.
Stay back. Stay back. You mustn't go out there.
Oh, Duncan. Duncan. Oh, you're hurt.
It's only my knee. I slipped trying to get back to the cave. I would have fallen straight into the laps of the devils, but Uncas here caught me. My hand, Mohican, you saved my life.
For your knee. Let me help
It's
you.
nothing. But one of my pistols went to the bottom of the rocks.
Them toy guns are no good anyway. Get that extra rifle there behind the sassafras and go to your post again. Sergeant is out there alone. Stay here, gal, and keep covered.
Maybe I should stay with Cora. This place is exposed from too many entrances.
No, go with Hawkeye. I'll be close by. We need every rifle.
Let them burn their powder. There'll be a fine gathering of lead when it's over. Oh, that bullet was better aimed than common.
Can they see us in these rocks, Hawkeye?
Their prying eyes are keen, friend. The flash of our guns give them direction enough. Uncas, boy, don't waste the colonels by overcharging. I'll kick your rifle. I see, Sergeant. Look, Major, in the top of that oak. Straight across. There's the sharpshooter.
I don't see him.
He's hid behind the trunk. But his legs are exposed.
He's shooting straight down on us.
Keep him in place, Sergeant, till I can bring Killdeer to bear. We'll try his metal on each side of the tree at once.
Ah! He's got our range, Hawkeye.
Yes, and we've got to dislodge him. That shot took my hair almost.
Duncan! Oh, let me...
Cora, why have you come out here? You risk your life every second.
No more risk for me than you.
But you can't help. You were safer in the cave. Go back, please.
No, I feel better here with you, please. That black cave is horrible. At least I can watch with you.
Ready, Chief? Now. Fire! Ah, that for your boldness, Redskin!
You got him, Hawkeye.
Only wounded him, but he dropped his rifle anyway.
He's swinging there from that ragged branch.
Oh, I'll fall on those jagged rocks. Oh, be merciful.
Give him another rifle, Hawkeye, and pit his name.
No, his death's certain, and we have no powder to spare.
But he's a human being.
Is his scalpel ours? We can't afford...
Oh, he's losing his hold. Quick, friend, don't let the poor devil...
Oh, he's falling, Hawkeye. Oh, thank heaven.
That was the act of a boy. What mattered it whether he struck the rocks living or dead?
It was an act of mercy.
Yes, I reckon. But it was a shot wasted. And it was the last charge in my horn. Uncas, go down to the canoe and bring up the big horn. It's all the powder we have left, and we'll need every grain of it.
Do we have enough ammunition?
It's hard to say. These Indian fights sometimes last for days.
Isn't there some way we could deceive them?
Give them the slip? Not likely, gal. Not at present, at least. Why, they're all around us.
Why are they so still now? Or maybe they've decided to leave.
You don't rightly know their cunning. I'll wager they're across there planning their next move. Why, a dog doesn't quit when he drives the fox into a hole.
That's Uncas. Something's happened.
Lie still. The lad's safe enough.
Hawkeye. Bingo, steel canoe. Look, river.
What say you, boy?
Come, canoe, gone. Powder, gone. Look.
Your canoe gone? Impossible. You hid it so.
Look for yourself, Heyward. There it goes now.
But there's no Indian in it.
Not in it, Major, but there's one on the other side of it. And he's almost to the rapids.
Have you more powder in the cave?
Not a grain. These arms are no better now than so many stalks of mullein. I hate to admit it, friends, but we're on Mingo Marcy now.
We'll take to the caves again. We can oppose them from there.
With what? The arrows of Uncas?
Our case may not be so hopeless, Hawkeye. I think our enemies may sicken of the struggle. They don't know we're without arms. Anyway, we may have friends not far away.
It may be a minute or an hour before the wily serpents steal on us. But come they will, and in such fashion as to leave us nothing to hope for.
But surely you won't just sit here and do nothing?
Chingachgook, my brother, we have fought our last battle together. The Maguas will triumph in the death of a Mohican chief.
Let Mingo women weep over Mingo death. Great serpent of Mohicans has coiled himself in their wigwams.
Yes, and struck your share of the varmints.
11 Huron warriors lie hid from graves of tribes in snow melt. No one tell where to find Chingachgook silent.
You've been a bitter foe, Chief, and they'll remember, depend on it.
Uncas, tell coward Mingo hasten. They look among fishes for their dead. Huron float with slimy eel.
What's this talk, Hawkeye?
They're just warming their Indian feelings, that's all. They'll soon provoke the Maguas to give them a speedy end, depend on it. But as for me, being white, I shall die as becomes McCullough, with no word of scoffing or bitter.
Why die at all? The path is open on every side. Let us no longer involve you in our hapless fortunes.
There is no path open to the woods now. The downstream current might sweep us beyond our rifle flow.
Then try the river. Why stay? You say yourself we face certain death here.
She counsels well, friend. We have no claim on your life. Maybe you can serve us better by escaping down the river. Why argue the matter?
Why? Because it's better for a man to die at peace with himself than to live haunted by an evil conscience. What answer could we give your father when he asked where we left you?
Go to him and simply say you left me with a message for him to send us aid.
How long do you think you can remain here?
Oh, I don't know, of course. I may be carried into the woods. But if so, you may be able to overtake me.
Chingachgook, you hear the young woman?
Sharpened here. Good plan. Go, bring soldier. Stay, scalp dry in wigwam.
Then go. And I'll follow. It may be for the better. Listen, gal. If you are led in the woods, break the twigs on the bushes as you pass and make the marks of your trail as broad as you can. If mortal eyes can follow them, I'll follow to the ends of the earth.
Goodbye, Hawkeye. You've done everything you could for us.
If the powder had held out, this disgrace could never have befallen. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Hawkeye. It's a long chance, Cora. But it's the best plan. If aid is possible, that scout will bring it.
Uncas, why are you staying? Why don't you follow?
Uncas, stay.
Oh, no, you must not, you hear? That would be to increase the danger of our capture.
Uncas, stay. Fight for White Daughter.
But you will also endanger our chances of release. No, Uncas, you must go. Now listen. Go to my father, General Munro, at Fort William Henry. Tell him you are my most confidential messenger. Tell him to give you the means to buy my freedom. See? Here, take this ring. Give it to him with my message. Go now, Uncas, quickly.
Uncas, go. Help pale-faced daughter.
Duncan, do you think they can swim away without being seen?
Quite likely. But we'll soon know. If they're caught, you'll hear the Iroquois boasting about it.
I've often heard of your skill in the water, too, Duncan. Won't you please follow them?
Is such the faith you expect from me?
Oh, but you must consider your own life. Well, not kill me, but you...
No more. I shall stay.
It's all the fault of that horrid guide who got us lost.
It's my fault for trusting him. I'm to blame.
No, don't censure yourself. You couldn't know.
The sly fox he calls himself. If I could get my hands on him.
Sly fox? I thought you called him Magua.
No, that was a part of his treachery. Le Renard Subtil, the sly fox, is his real name.
Duncan, he may be at the head of this attack. Do you think he...
Quite probably. Let's examine the cave more carefully. We may need every nook and corner of it. Help me stack up this brush around the entrance. It may help to hide us.
Duncan, what I've discovered...
No, that came from above us. They probably found some of their dead comrades.
We sound all around us.
Yes, and not so far away.
Oh, we're lost, Duncan.
Not yet. There, that entrance is covered.
Let's go the other.
There's not time. Lie down here close to the wall. Don't move. They're just outside. I can almost touch them.
They're leaving, Duncan.
They've missed us for the present, but they may return.
We're only armed.
I have my pistol, but it won't help now. If we can just hide for a few hours, Hawkeye may bring help.
They know we're here somewhere.
And they won't give up searching. Let's try to block up the other entrance before they get back.
Be careful, Duncan. They may see you.
I must take the chance.
Stop! There's someone out there now. I hear him.
You're right. Keep quiet.
There he is. He's looking straight at us.
But he doesn't see us. It's too dark in here.
Duncan, It's Magua, the sly fox.
Cora Munro and Major Heyward are trying to reach Fort William Henry. Deserted by a treacherous guide named the Sly Fox, they meet a white hunter, Hawkeye, and his two Mohican companions, Chingachgook and Uncas. He takes them for the night to a secret cave on an island in the river. But they are discovered by the enemy Iroquois. A sharp fight ensues, in which Hawkeye uses all his powder and realizes they are trapped. Entreated by Cora and Duncan, the scout and the Mohicans escape by swimming down the river, promising to bring help as soon as possible. Major Heyward and Cora try to conceal themselves in the cave, but are discovered by the Sly Fox. They are dragged from their hiding place, surrounded by the whole band of Iroquois.
Magua, you devil, if I'd known this yesterday, I'd have shot you on sight.
Renaud subtil wise.
You're well named, Sly Fox, you treacherous dog. But if you harm a hair of our heads, my soldiers will...
No fine, Sly Fox. Only speak.
Not big enough to hide you. They'll ferret you out, or...
Face boast.
Why have you done this? You came to Fort Edward and claimed to be a friendly Mohawk. I engaged you on an honest errand. I never did you harm.
My tongue lie. Pale-face fill bushes with enemies. Draw knife first.
What do you mean, I fill the bushes with enemies?
White heart black.
I did you no violence, I tell you. I promised to reward you if you took us to Fort William Henry as you agreed.
Look, Magua's shoulder covered with blood. Why shoot tired Indians?
You deserted. But I didn't fire the shot.
No, Lalong Carabine. You friend Lalong Carabine.
You mean our white friend, Hawkeye? Is he Lalong Carabine?
Hawkeye Lalong Carabine.
You're not the first Iroquois to feel the sting of his rifle.
Pale-face here?
I can't understand them. Interpret. What do they want?
Huron want Lalong Carabine.
Oh, you want the long rifle. Well, he's escaped. He's gone. He's far away.
When white man die, he think to be at peace. Red man know how to torture spirit of white man. Show Magua long rifle body. Huron won't scalp.
You don't understand. He's not dead. He's escaped.
Long rifle, no bird to spread wing, no fish to swim without air. Huron no fool.
He's no fish, but he can swim. We burned our powder and the long rifle floated down the stream when your eyes were in a cloud.
Why, white chief, stay.
Only cowards desert their women.
Where is Le Gros Sepin?
Who do you mean?
Le Gros Sepin, old Mohican.
Oh, Chingachgook, big serpent. He went down with the water, too.
The surf Agile no here?
Your French names bother me. Speak English.
Uncas, pounding out.
Your French is bad, Magua. Surf is the name for stag. The word for elk is elan.
Pale-face have two words for one thing.
The young Mohican swam down the river, too.
Magic! Ukutsuba! The long carabine!
What are they saying, Duncan?
They're disappointed. They want Hawkeye and the Mohicans more than they do us.
Oh, they'll take their revenge on you and me.
They may. Again, I have an idea they may take us to Montcalm.
Why?
They could use us as hostages in dealing with your father. Montcalm is a great politician.
Why do they want Hawkeye?
The long carabine. It comes to me now. Why, Cora, it's Hawkeye that's known throughout the colonies as the long rifle. He's the ablest guide and scout in this whole territory.
Look. Why are they all pointing in that direction?
That's the way to Fort Edward. We're not far away, and they know it.
If Hawkeye could only get back now.
It's too early to expect him. Now, don't worry, my dear. Everything will be all right. Here's Magua.
Pale-face come with Huron.
Where are you going to take us?
Far away.
Where are we going, Duncan? Can you tell?
Due west.
Toward the fort?
No.
You still think he may be taking us to Mohican?
I'm afraid not. It's the wrong way.
Duncan, I'm trying to mark the trail, as Hawkeye said.
Be careful. We're watched. It may mean death if we're caught.
Maybe they can follow the horses.
These are not the only horses in the woods.
Well, I wish I could understand the difference in the Indian names. Huron, Mohawk, Iroquois, Delaware, and Mohican.
Why, the Hurons and Iroquois mean the same. So do Mohican and Delaware.
Oh? Are they all enemies?
No. The Mohawks are friendly. That's the reason I trusted this Magua. He said he'd been adopted in their tribe. What do you think of Chingachgook and Uncas now?
Oh, I wronged them. I didn't know. I feel a pity for old Chingachgook. He's the last of his people.
His son Uncas is the last.
I wonder if we'll ever see them again.
Paleface talk too much. Be still.
Why are you hurrying so fast, Magua? Can't we rest a while?
Trail long.
Yes, it was long yesterday, too, when you got us lost. Where are we going?
Far, very far.
We've been on the trail for hours, and we're tired, very tired. Let us stop here in this glade. Stop a while.
Trail long. No time to rest.
I want to talk with you. I have something to say fit only for a great chief to hear.
Speak. Please have no ears.
But these Hurons with you are not deaf. I have words for your ears only. If you won't listen, then the officer of the king knows how to be silent.
Magua, stop.
We're going to stop a moment, Cora. Dismount and get some rest. I'm going to try flattery with this fox. Tell your men to keep their distance, Magua. What I have to say is for your ears alone.
Speak. Magua here.
I've been mistaken about you, Magua. The Canada fathers gave you an honorable name when they called you Le Renard Subtil. I understand your wisdom now. I shall remember and reward you. You have proved to me that you are a great chief. You know how to deceive your enemies.
What has Renard done?
Let me tell you. When you took us on their trail yesterday, you knew that the woods were filled with outlying enemies. You found out that you couldn't get through without being seen. That's why you took us so far off the trail. You lost the path to blind the eyes of the Hurons. Well, now you have pretended to betray us in order to make the Iroquois think you are leading us to their camp. And now, having closed their eyes, you have turned like a fox and are taking us to General Munro. Oh, you are wise, Renard. You will have a medal made of gold. Your horn will run over with powder. You will have a fine rifle. I will give you...
What will young chief give?
I will make the fire water flow before the wigwam of Magua until your heart will be lighter than the feathers of the hummingbird.
White men make long speech. Renard have much to say, too.
I listen.
Magua born chief among Huron of lakes. See sun 20 summers before see paleface. Magua happy. Canada fathers come. Give fire water. Make Renard rascal. Huron drive him away.
I've heard that, and I'm sorry for you. But the Mohawks took you in and adopted you?
Who gave Renard fire water? Who make him villain? Paleface. Your people.
Oh, it was wrong, Magua. I know that. But we're not responsible for that. You take me to the fort now, and see how my father will give you every kindness.
Magua's story not ended. When English-French fathers dig up hatchet, Renard struck war post of Mohicans. Fight against own nation. Who was chief of Mohawk war party? Your father. He say to Mohawks, do this, do that. White chief make law. Indians no can drink fire water. Magua drink water. Come in camp of Munro. What gray beard do, huh?
Why, he probably did justice by punishing you.
Justice? You call justice to make evil, then punish for it? Magua, tied up before all pale-faced warriors, whipped like dog, scars on Magua back, marks made by Munro on back of Huron chief.
Let's say your treatment was unjust. If so, show General Munro that an Indian knows how to forgive an injury by taking his daughter to him.
Huron love good for good, and bad for bad.
No, enough of this parleying, Duncan. Name your intention, Magua. If a ward won't change your heart, then tell us what you propose to do. Are you going to lead us prisoners to the woods? Or do you plan some greater evil?
Magua will speak. When Magua left his people, wife given to another chief. Now, Magua make friend with Hurons. Let daughter English chief follow. Live in Magua wigwam.
Magua, you carrion!
Oh, what possible pleasure could Magua find in sharing his cabin with a wife he didn't love? Take the golden Munro and the heart of some Huron maiden.
Wind blows scorched back Huron chief. Renard would know where to find woman to feel smart. Daughter of Munro will draw water for Renard. Whole corn, cooked venison. Body of gray-head Munro will sleep 'mong cannon. His heart will lie in reach of Renard knife.
Oh, you're a monster. None but a fiend could plan such a vengeance.
What say, daughter of Munro? Oh, her head too good to find pillow in Renard wigwam. She will like it better when it rolls about as plaything for wolves.
Oh.
Our bosom cannot nurse children of Huron, huh? She will see it spit upon by Indians.
You treacherous dog, I'll wring your black...
Oh, Duncan! Duncan! Get alive!
Cora and Major Heyward, with Hawkeye and the Mohicans, are trapped in a cave by a band of Iroquois. Hawkeye, Chingachgook, and Uncas escape with the purpose of bringing help. Shortly after, Cora and her escort are discovered and dragged from their hiding place. The triumphant Indians, led by the sly fox, take them prisoners into the forest. Toward evening, Heyward tries to bribe his captor into letting them go. But the Iroquois tells him that Cora must go to his wigwam as a Huron squaw. Infuriated, Heyward engages in a hand-to-hand encounter with the sly fox. The Indian's knife is raised for its fatal plunge, when a rifle flashes from the trees, followed by the yells of Hawkeye, Chingachgook, and Uncas. The Indians, taken by surprise, are put to rout, and the two whites find themselves again in the hands of their friend. The present scene opens a short time later at a spring, where the little group is gathered about their evening meal.
My father will certainly reward you for today's work, Hawkeye.
Tut, tut, such services have been my life for 30 years, gal.
The devils were certainly taken by surprise.
Poor Huron scout.
Yes, and should be 5. If we'd been a little quicker.
What do you mean?
The sly fox. He writhed away from Uncas there before the boy could get a fair grip on his warlock.
Oh, then that means we haven't seen the last of him.
He'll have another lot of the bloodsuckers at his heels before another sun.
I hope I get my hands on that carrion again.
You're hot-blooded, Major. It takes cunning to deal with savages. What did you think you could do single-handed against half a dozen of the varmints?
I didn't stop to think. Renard's insults maddened me. My act was instinctive.
What did the rascal offer you?
He was hot with revenge and hate. My father once had him whipped, and he was serving with the Mohawks.
He intended to take Cora to the Iroquois camp as his wife.
I see. An Indian never forgets. Depend on that. I am surprised he didn't take your scalp, though, Major, before he left the island.
I thought at first he might be taking me to Montcalm as a hostage. But what I don't understand is how you happened to be at that spot. You started for Fort Edward.
We didn't go to the fort. We hid under the bank of the river to watch the movements of the Huron.
Then you saw all that passed?
Not all. Indian sight is too keen to be easily cheated, and we kept close. No, Uncas, your behavior was more like that of a curious woman than a warrior on the scent.
Oh, don't criticize the boy, Hawkeye. He saved my life an hour ago. Oh, it's just like a nightmare. That knife was in my hair when Uncas reached me.
You saw our capture then?
We heard it. An Indian yell is plain language to men who have passed their days in the woods.
They took us away in canoes. How did you follow us? Did you keep us in sight all the time?
No, in fact, we lost sight of you entirely until we found you there in the clearing.
It's a miracle you found us. When we got down the river away, the band divided, and the party that went south had horses, too.
Aye, we were thrown off the scent. But we took the trail into the forest because we judged they'd be taking you to the woods. But when we followed it without finding a single twig broken, my mind misgave me. Especially as all the footprints bore the prints of moccasins.
How did you find us then?
'Twas the judgment of Uncas here. He had noticed that Miss Monroe's horse planted his legs on one side of the ground at the same time. Now that's contrary to any 4-footed animal I ever saw, except the bear.
Cora's horse comes from the shores of Narragansett Bay. 'Tis the merit of the animal.
It may be. But I've never seen one travel after such a sidelong gait. Anyway, Uncas noticed the peculiar tracks, and that's how we found you.
There's another thing I don't understand. Did you recapture your ammunition?
Aye. We found the canoe 100 yards down the stream. The powder had been untouched.
The sun is almost down, Hawkeye. What are we going to do now? Can we start for Father's garrison?
If you can stand 2 more hours on the trail, I can take you to an old fort where you'll be safer than in these trees.
We depend on you. Lead the way.
Uncas, scatter the fire. We've got a sharp march ahead of us, Fort Magua.
I marvel at the way you find your way through these trackless woods.
Trackless only to your eyes, Major. The forest teaches many things to a man that makes it his home.
Is your lodge much farther, Hawkeye?
Only a few rods further, if I'm right.
Are you tired, Cora?
Dreadfully. Is the fort very far?
I think not. Tomorrow you'll be with your father.
Ah, here we are, as I thought.
Why, it's a kind of a house.
Yes, tumbled down somewhat. But it'll make a shelter for the night for you.
I should think a place like this would be known by every Indian in the woods.
There are few living who know that this blockhouse was ever raised, Major. Uncas, clear out the spring. Sergeant, cut some chestnut shoots for the lady's bed.
Sit down here on this mound, Cora, and rest. I want to look around the place. I'll be back in a moment.
When was this place built, Hawkeye?
Before you was born, gal.
Was it a dwelling?
For 40 days and 40 nights. I was a younker then and went out with the Delawares against the Mohawks. We built this place for a barricade.
Did you beat them?
Not a one of the Mohawks got back to tell the fate of his party. I was young then, as I said, and new to the ways of savages. And I buried the dead with my own hands under this very hillock where you're sitting.
Oh, this is a grave?
Yes. Yes, but it's no bad seat, though, if it is built out of the bones of mortals.
Oh, how gruesome.
It's all right, Cora. The place is a wreck, but it'll be a shelter from the prowling beast.
Duncan, this mound here is an Indian grave. I was sitting on it.
I wish Magua was at the bottom of it.
Hawkeye was just telling me of a battle between the Delawares and the Mohawks that was fought here.
That's not our concern now. We all need sleep. But I want the privilege of keeping watch.
No. No, the eyes of a white man are too blind for such a watch as this, Major. Chingachgook will be our sentinel. If any beast or redskin gets within 100 yards, he'll waken us. Here, get some rest, both of you. In 6 hours, we'll move on to William Henry.
What is it? Speak.
Come. White man's fort far off. Time to go.
Serpent, you startled me.
Time to go. Come.
Good. Call your friends. I'll bridle the horses and wake Cora. Oh, Cora.
I'm awake, Duncan. Did you sleep well?
I tried to keep awake, but my treacherous eyes betrayed me.
Well, you needed the rest.
Yes, but I led you into this danger, and I ought at least to play the part of a soldier. Listen.
What is it?
Something's wrong. Keep quiet. Here comes the guide. Anything up, friend?
The Mohicans hear an enemy. They scent danger.
God forbid. We've had enough bloodshed. It may be some beast hunting for food.
Well, I can't hear anything.
It's too far away for your ears. It's no beast. It's a man. I can tell his tread now.
An Indian?
That scampering Magua has probably fallen in with one of Montcalm's parties, and they've struck our trail. Uncas.
Uncas here.
Bring the horses inside here with us. Tell your father to join us.
I can hear them now. Where's my rifle?
Caution, Major. The snapping of a flint will send the varlets on us in a body.
Who are they?
They're Hurons, all right.
How many?
10 or 20, I judge.
Can we stand them off from here?
I don't know. The knaves know our weakness. Listen to the reptiles. They've lost the trail and are separating. We threw them off when we entered this thicket.
They're coming this way, though. I hear them beating the brush. Shall we fire?
No, keep back. And pray that your horses don't give us away. Look, I see.
There's their leader.
Is it Magua?
No.
I heard they stopped.
They're surprised to find this house here. If they try to come in, use this knife. Don't fire unless all of them make a rush.
What are they doing now?
They're examining that mound.
The Indian grave?
Yes.
Where are they going, Hawkeye? Are they leaving?
They recognize that mound as a burial place. Indians respect the tomb of their dead.
Thank God it saved their lives.
And the lives of better men, too, maybe. The Lord is merciful. As soon as Chingachgook says it's safe, we'll leave through this rear door. We must keep moving.
Oh, Duncan. This nightmare never ends.
Be patient, Cora. That trail we just made through the stream will throw them off the track again, and the fort can't be far away.
It's so dark. I can't understand how Hawkeye knows where he's going.
He's a clever guide.
Even the bark of the trees gives him location.
Oh, this silence is terrifying.
The path is getting steep. We must be getting into the hills near the lake.
Where are we now, Hawkeye?
We're not far from William Henry, but it's a weary path yet and full of uncertainty.
Do you know this spot very well?
I've fought the enemy in these hills from the rising to the setting sun.
Do you think Montcalm has moved down on the fort yet?
Yes, I do. We may have to crawl through his lines before we go steep again. Do you want to stop a while, gal? It's been a hard trail for you.
No, push on, please.
Good. Keep your voices down. They carry fall in this quiet.
How many soldiers does Montcalm have, Duncan?
We don't know. Probably 20,000.
How many under Father's command?
Just a handful.
Oh, isn't resistance useless?
We must try to parley with them at least.
What will Montcalm do if the garrison surrenders? Oh.
Stop. Stop. Chingachgook hears something.
Get in!
Ah, that's neither Indian nor English. What is it?
It's a French sentry. Oh, answer him quickly, Duncan. He'll fire.
We are cut off, Hawkeye. The French are between us and the fort, and the Indians are behind us.
Oh, it's around.
What can we do?
There's only one thing. Get off your horses. We'll send the Mohicans in front, cut a lane through their sentries, and enter the fort over their dead bodies.
Où venez-vous? Où allez-vous, Don Bonheur?
Je viens de la couverte et je veux me coucher.
Êtes-vous officier du roi?
Sans doute, mon camarade. Tu me prends pour un provincial. Je suis chasseur. J'ai ici avec moi la fille du commandant de la fortification. Je la fais prisonnière près de l'autre fort et je la conduis au général.
Bien. Adieu, mon ami. Je vous souhaiterais un devoir plus agréable à remplir. Bonne nuit, mon camarade.
We are safe for the present, Hawkeye.
As well you understood the knave. What did you tell him?
I said I was a French officer, that I had captured the daughter of the English general and was taking her to the camp.
I had a hard time to restrain the arrow of this young Mohican here.
Yeah.
It's well he believed you.
We may not have such good luck with the next one we meet. There must be others.
Of course. Why, his presence means that the French have moved down around the fort. It's a delicate needle we have to thread in passing them.
But is such a course possible?
The thing can be done.
How?
Just as I said. We'll turn the horses loose, send the Mohicans in front, and fight our way through.
It won't do. Listen to me, friend. There's too much risk. I'd be willing to take the chance, but Miss Munro here...
That would be a bloody path.
What's the alternative?
We'll turn on our trail, get without the line of the lookouts, and go up into the mountains.
Will we be safe there?
I can hide you so that all the devils in Montcalm's pay will be thrown off the scent for a month.
Then let it be done. Instantly.
We'll be at the summit in a few minutes.
I've expected to hear one of their patrols every minute.
We're beyond them now. That was a close call an hour ago. You can thank Chingachgook for discovering the varlet in time.
And also Duncan's knowledge of French.
Them foreign words of yours, friend, spared us a lot of trouble.
How far have we climbed, Hawkeye? Where are we?
Just a few yards more, Major, and your eyes will tell you everything.
It's a painful route we've just covered.
It's getting light, Duncan. Look, there through the trees just ahead. At sunrise. Oh, I pray that I'll never see another night like this one.
Here we are. It's the summit. This flat rock will be a fair vantage point when the sun gets up. You can see the whole valley from here. Get off the horses and straighten out the kinks in you while I speak with the Mohican.
Let me help you, Cora. There. Are you cold?
No,
Oh, you are. You're chilled through. Let me fix this blanket for you.
We're not staying here very long, surely.
We're entirely in Hawkeye's hands. If we do get through this mess...
Oh, don't say if. Of course we're going to get through.
Forgive me. I'm too much the pessimist.
Does that mean that I'm too much the optimist?
No, my dear. It's more than optimism. Your courage would shame the bravest regiment of the line.
You flatter, Duncan. You know I don't like it. Sounds like a council of war. Look at Uncas, Duncan. He's like a bronze statue.
We both owe him our lives. He kept me from falling over the cliff there at the cave, and he reached you yesterday in time to stop Magua's knife.
I wish we could show our gratitude in some way. Oh, couldn't you engage him as a runner for the army?
Yes, but he probably wouldn't join us. He's too much the nomad.
Major, we've decided to give your horses their heads. We can't use them anymore.
Turn them loose in the woods? Oh, no, don't, please.
I agree. They'll only become food for wolves.
They'll have to take the chance. Look for yourself. Do you know the name of that lake down there?
The Hurricane?
The Bloody Pond, we call it.
Why, there's Fort William Henry. I can see the rampart.
Right. And what do you make out there to the south?
It's too misty to tell. By the Lord, it's a mass of tents.
Yes, the tents of the French. You're looking into the heart of Montcalm's camp.
It's like a puzzle picture. I can see it clearly now. They have thrown up batteries. Listen. They've opened fire.
We're a few hours too late, that's all. Montcalm has already filled the woods and the plain with his French and bloody Iroquois.
We must try to get through to the fort, Hawkeye. Capture would be better than hiding out and running the peril of roving Indians.
Look, that shot made the stones fly from the side of the commandant's house. Those Frenchers will pull it to pieces faster than it was put together.
Oh, it makes me sick to be absent from my regiment. Let's go to Montcalm and demand admission. We'll explain the whole story. He's not a barbarian. I know he won't deny a boon to Miss Munro.
You wouldn't reach the tent of the Frenchman with a hair on your head.
If we could get one of those boats along the shore, it might be done.
They've drawn their lines too tight. There'll soon be an end to their firing, though. Look at that fog blowing down the lake.
That'll be to our advantage. Let us start down.
I have my doubts. But if you're equal to the work, we'll make a push.
I'm equal to it.
Would I had 1,000 men who feared death as little as you, gal. I'd soon send them jabbering Frenchies back into their den again.
The fog is rolling down fast now.
Yes. We'll just have time to meet it on the plain and use it as a cover. Now listen to me. If anything happens to me, Major, keep the air blowing on your left cheek. Or better, follow the Mohicans. They'll scent their way day or night. Sergeant, do you think we can make the fort through that fog?
Dangerous. Sergeant, go first. Uncas, last.
Then lead on. We can meet our death only once.
You and the gal keep close, Major, and walk carefully. It'll be easy to get separated in this fog.
How in the world do you know where you're going?
Indian instinct, aided by them French guns. Chingachgook, wait.
Huron, close.
How many?
Well, look.
Camped?
No camp. Come this way.
It might be work for our knives. Uncas,
Uncas, here.
your father says that 3 of the Maguas are just ahead and coming this way.
No, 3. Many. Here.
The boy's judgment is right. We can't risk a fight with them. Here, lie close. They may pass us. That's a bad omen, Major. The varmints are all around us. Shall we go on, Sergeant?
Okay. Stay here. Sharpen bull. Make trail.
How will he ever find this place again? I can't see 3 feet in front of me.
Red man doesn't need eyes, gal.
Oh, will those cannon never stop?
Cannon don't need eyes either.
Uncas, if we should get lost, let me tell you how much we owe you. You've been a real friend, and I'll never forget it. Why should you risk your life for us?
Uncas, Huron, enemy. White man, friend.
If we do get through all this, will you stay with us? My father will give you a place of honor among the troops.
Uncas, last of Mohican. Live in forest, Warway. Fight, Huron.
But you're young. Why risk the peril of the woods? Come and live with the English.
Forest, Uncas, home. No happy white man wigwam.
Chingachgook. What did you find, Sergeant? All clear ahead? Paleface. Paleface. The Frenchers have another picket directly in front of us, Major.
Can't we make a circuit and get back into our path again when we get past?
They're probably strung out in a solid line between us and the fort. Anyway, if we bend off our line of march, we may never find it again in this fog. You may be right, Uncas. It's a desperate chance. But a fever can't be treated like a toothache. Push on, Major. The lad may be right. Stop.
What are you going to do?
It's small hope, but it's better than nothing. Look. See this furrow? It was made by one of them shots from the fort. We'll follow it. It may serve as a guide. Here, come this way. But hurry. If this fog lifts, we'll be a mark for both armies to shoot at.
But what about the center that Serpent says is ahead?
We'll try to circumvent him. Follow the furrow, Uncas.
If this plan works, it'll be a miracle, Duncan.
No, it's a foolish idea, but we have no choice but to follow. Take my hand. This fog is getting thicker.
Can you find the path of the shot?
No, I don't think the Indians can either. If we get lost, I'll carry out my plan of surrendering and throwing ourselves on Montcalm's mercy. Watch out for that log, Cora. Are you hurt?
It's a sentry. It's a sentry, I say. Carry the gal, Major, and push on.
C'est moi!
Moi!
Ami de la France!
Il m'a l'air d'un ennemi de la France. Arrêtez!
Push on and don't stop.
Arrêtez ou je tire!
Push on, I say, and don't stop.
Arrêtez ou je tire!
This way, quick.
Feu, camarade, feu!
They're firing blindly. Are you safe, Major?
It's hopeless, Hawkeye. Stop. It's a French patrol. You go on. Let me surrender. It only means we'll be taken prisoners of war.
No, not yet. Let us return their fire. They may think it's a sortie and give way or wait for reinforcements. Serpent, Uncas, are you ready? Fire!
We've got the whole French army on us, Hawkeye. Lead on for your life and ours.
The French army has moved down and laid siege to the English garrison, Fort William Henry. Cora Munro and her protectors are trying to thread their way through the line of French sentries when they are suddenly caught between a crossfire and threatened with immediate death or capture. At that moment, however, the English attempt to sally against their enemy, and in the fighting, Cora and Major Heyward, who are separated from Hawkeye and the Mohicans, are found by their own troops and conducted safely to the garrison. The present scene opened several days later in the quarters of General Munro, Cora's father, commander of the English forces at Fort William Henry. The general is pacing his narrow room.
Come in. You sent for me, sir? Yes, come in. Close the door. I want your advice, Heyward. How long can we hold out?
In my judgment, sir, we have reached the end. More than half the guns are useless.
What's the feeling among the troops?
They are naturally alarmed, sir.
Any signs of discontent?
I regret to say there are, sir.
Drop formalities, Duncan. They don't mean much in the face of death.
Have you received further news from General Webb at Fort Edward?
None.
I can't understand why he doesn't dispatch troops to our relief.
He's more comfortable on the Hudson.
If he would only lead 10,000 of his men against Montcalm, we could...
It's hopeless. We're deserted.
Yet if I thought there was the least hope of success, I'd hold this fortress if I had to fight with pebbles.
We've been fortunate to hold off the French for 5 days. If Montcalm had planted his guns in the hills instead of moving down to the plain, he could have wiped us out.
Perhaps, but it wasn't necessary. He has the strength, and he knows it.
Well, have you any plans?
Yes. I have asked for a truce and arranged a meeting with Montcalm.
When?
At 2 o'clock.
Where?
At the Marquis. That's Cora. Let her in.
Father, Hawkeye is coming to the fort with a French officer. What does it mean?
That's the answer to our question, General. He was taken prisoner when we were separated in that fog.
I'm sorry his usual good luck deserted him.
Will they bring him here at once?
Yes.
Then may I remain to hear his
Of
report?
course.
But if he is their prisoner, why should they be sending him to us? He can't be an emissary of the French.
No. His loyalty to us is above suspicion. Montcalm is using him as a tool some way. Come in.
Hawkeye!
Welcome, friend. Your absence has worried us.
I have been concerned for you. When we got separated in that fog, I couldn't tell what the outcome was.
What about the Mohicans? Did they escape?
I can't say, gal. I haven't seen them since.
But what happened to you? Why were you brought here by that French officer?
It's a long story. I escaped by hiding in an old log. When the firing stopped, I started down the lake to Fort Edward.
Fort Edward? Why didn't you try to get through to us here?
The fog was lifting. I didn't dare try the French sentries. I went to Edward to report your condition and bring help.
What was Webb's answer? Is he coming to our relief? Speak. Speak, man. The matter is urgent.
He said he had sent you 1,500 men and could spare no more.
But he's no danger at present.
Oh, I made every argument. But he promised nothing.
Did he send any word at all?
He wrote a long letter, explaining, he said, why he couldn't move.
Let me have it. Let me have it.
Oh, 'tis my disgrace, sir, that the message is in the hands of Montcalm.
What?
I was trapped 2 hours from here last night.
What did I tell you, Heyward?
But why were you set free, friend, and brought here to the fort?
I'll answer that, Heyward. French diplomacy. Montcalm has Webb's letter. It makes our plight perfectly clear to him. He sets Long Rifle free to tell us he knows everything in order to hasten our evacuation.
Why is your position so bad?
The walls are crumbling about our ears. Our men are restless. In fact, I have already arranged to surrender. Major Heyward, Montcalm expects me at his marquee at 2 o'clock. You will go along. We shall make the best terms possible under the circumstances.
And directed by Charles Frederick Lindsley.
General Munro, commander of Fort William Henry, has arranged to surrender to the overwhelming French forces of Montcalm and has promised a safe retreat. The English forces are already on the march when Hawkeye arrives with the news that the Iroquois have broken faith with Montcalm and intend to massacre the entire garrison. But he is too late. Already the woods is filled with war whoops. The bloody scalping knives are at work. And the fiendish massacre of Fort William Henry is written on the pages of American colonial history. The accounts of the number who fell in this unhappy affair vary between 500 and 1,500. It is now the hour of sunset, and 4 men are seen issuing from the trees, advancing slowly toward the smoldering ruins of the fort. Their progress is slow and guarded, as though they dread the renewal of the frightful incidents of that early morning.
Hawkeye, are you sure that Cora was not among those who escaped?
Positive, Major. We've followed them almost to the Hudson.
Then we must search every inch of the ground among those bodies. Cad, look at that carnage. The demons of hell couldn't equal this cruelty.
I've
followed the trail of blood for years, but I've never seen the hand of the devil so plain as it is here. What say you, Chingachgook? Shall the Hurons boast of this to their women when the snows come? I see it in your eyes, Sagamore. A Huron pays for this afore the winds blow away the scent of blood. Look there, Uncas. As I'm a man of white blood, yonder lies a red skin without a hair of his head where nature rooted it. Look to him. He may be one of your people.
No Delaware, or neither. Leave him to Raven.
Come along, then.
What is it, Uncas?
God sent it to be a tardy Frencher.
No, the boys found something there in the bushes. Look there, Bring it here, Uncas. By the Lord, it's a piece of Cora's riding veil. Dark hair. Path here. Then she may have escaped, Hawkeye. Look for the trail.
Softly. A step too soon may give us trouble. If she's alone, she's gone in a circle, maybe within a dozen miles of us. If the Hurons have her, she's near the Canadas. God forbid. What matter? If she is, the Mohicans and me are on one end of the trail, and we'll find her of 100 leagues separated. Gently, Uncas. Don't forget that light feet leave pain marks.
Do you see any tracks, lad? Moccasin.
Let me see. You're right, Mohican. What do you make of this telltale?
Renard Sutil, sly fox. I knew when I saw him with Montcalm yesterday that we'd meet his deviltry again.
There'll never be an end to his lope until Kildare has a friendly word with him. Chingachgook, is Uncas right?
Uncas right. Magua moccasin. If you are right, we must take up the trail at once.
Hold. It's not the swiftest leaping deer that gives the longest chase.
But I shall not stop until she is found.
I know. Move on, Uncas, a little. Keep your eyes on the dried leaves. I'll watch the bushes. Move on. The sun's getting low.
Is there nothing I can do?
Yes, you can keep in the rear and don't cross the trail.
Have they found something else?
The secret is out, Major. Look. Here's the track of that one-sided horse again. And the path pointed straight toward the Canadas.
Hurry, man. Every moment is precious.
Keep cool. We're not starting on a squirrel hunt. We'll have to outlie for nights and days and cross a wilderness where the feet of men seldom go before we finish.
And all the more reason to push on.
An Indian never starts on an expedition of this sort without smoking over his council fire.
Well?
We'll go back and light our fire in the ruins of that old fort. And in the morning, we'll take up our work like men and not like little boys. Leave the trail, Sergeant. Bring Uncas. Well, you'd better get some sleep, Major. We'll have to take an early start.
I can never sleep here, Hawkeye. The thought of my murdered friends hangs like a pall upon me. Their death cries still ring in my ears. And Cora,
it's the life of the wilderness, though, friend. But we'll exact vengeance on the varlets afore the trail's done.
Listen. I keep hearing noises off there on the plain. Is it possible the French haven't deserted the place?
No. They're caged safe in Fort Tiber now.
Some of Magua's tribe may be hanging around. I think you'd better tell the Indians to put out their fire. Listen. Don't you hear the noise I mean?
An Indian seldom lurks about the dead. When he gets a scalp, he's willing to leave his victim to his natural rest.
There it is again.
I hear it. Just some wolves, though. Major, do you opine that the heaven of a red skin and us whites will be one and the same?
No doubt. Don't you?
For my part, I believe that paradise is ordained for happiness, and that men will be indulged in it according to their gifts. I therefore judge... Wait. There is something besides wolves moving out there.
I feel sure of it.
Call Uncas. The boy has Indian senses that are sharper than ours.
Uncas.
Speak lower, man. We don't know what ears are out there.
Uncas, here.
There's something out there on the plain, boy. Listen.
Montcalm may not have called us all his Indians. We'd better stand to our arms. Uncas, Why, he's gone. Where? Oh, Indian coming. The lad's halfway to the plain already. Look at the old chief yonder by his fire. If there are skulkers out there, they'll never discover by his face that we suspect danger.
But he shouldn't stay there in the light. He'll certainly be the first victim.
True. But a single suspicious movement or look might bring on an attack before we're ready. He knows Uncas is out there on a scent. Don't worry. He knows what to do. I'll call him. He'll know this signal.
Did he hear? He seems asleep.
He's pretending. Notice the turn of his head, though. And the position of his tomahawk. He knows what's up. But he won't make a false move because...
I knew he'd be a target in that light. They've got him.
Hold. He's safe, all right. It was a bad shot. Wait. That was Uncas.
How do you know?
I know the crack of his rifle. I carried the piece myself once. Ah, Sergeant, that was a close call for you then.
Huron shoot. Sharp one safe.
Are the Mingos on us in earnest?
One. Not many.
Was he watching us?
Come to scalp dead. Go boast to squaw red warrior. Kill many paleface.
I thought as much. But the rascal certainly sent his lead close to your head, Sagamore.
Uncas.
What was it, boy? We heard your rifle.
Oneida.
By the Lord. If the Oneidas are outlying on the trail, we shall be flanked by devils on every side. Are you sure, Uncas?
See? Oneida scalp.
That settles it. We've got the Oneidas on our trail, Major. And we've got to throw them off, or we'll never reach your gal with